Kadakilaan sa harap ng kapahamakan, katatagan sa gitna ng kalungkutan, katibayan ng puso sa kabila ng kawalang katiyakan. Kung may iisang kwentong kumakatawan sa pusong Pilipino, naririto ito sa Tanawan Leyte.
Ito ay isang istorya ng pagsisikap, pag-asa at pananalig. Pakinggan po natin ang kwento ng bayan ng Tanawan dito sa Kahangahangang Pilipinas.
Samahan, kamusta ng kagandahan, kasi ng kagalingan, hindi pang karaniwan. Kahanga-hanga ang Pilipinas, kamangha-mangha at kagila-gilalas. Walang kasing ganda, walang kasing saya. Ito ang bayan ko, kahangahangang Pilipinas. Tayong lahat maglalakbay, maghahanap ng makukulay, papalakpak sa mga husay, sisigaw sabay-sabay. Pinagpala ka, o Pilipinas, kamangha-mangha at kagila-gilalas. Walang kasing ganda, walang kasing saya. Ito ang bayan mo, ito ang bayan mo, tanging bayan ko, kahangahangang Pilipinas.
Matiwasay, banayad, maaasahan. Gaya ng ilang coastal town sa Pilipinas, may natatanging kumpas ang takbo ng buhay sa Tanawan Leyte. Walang apura, may tamang panahon para sa lahat. Dito nasusunod ang oras ng kalikasan, ang oras ng pangingisda sa dagat, ang panahon ng pagtatanim at pag-aani sa bukid.
Ngunit kung makikinig ka, hindi rin mahirap dinggin ang buhay na pulso ng isang multi-awarded second-class municipality. Ito ang tunay na Tanawan, nakaangkla sa tradisyon, ngunit progresibo.
Tanawan's a very beautiful town. Okay, it is one of the oldest settlements in Leyte. As early as 17th century, there was already a settlement in Tanawan. That's why up to now we still have some of the old structures of the past until today. We have a very beautiful old church. We have a very nice, beautiful plaza, Spanish style. Even our municipal building is patterned after the old Spanish style municipio. And this Tanawan is an agro-industrial town. Okay, and we are a second-class municipality now. And we have 54 barangays. It's quite a big town in Leyte. And we have 53,000 population. And we have light industries here like Pepsi-Cola plant serving Region 8, Leyte Samar is located in Tanawan. And also New Edible Oil, a cocoa oil producer, also is based in Tanawan. Then our major industries would be rice farming, coconut farming, fishing, and many small, medium entrepreneurs businesses in Tanawan.
Ang kayamanan ng Tanawan ay ang kanyang natural resources. Ang dobleng biyaya ng malawak na karagatan at ng patag at mayabong na kalupaan ang siyang nagbibigay buhay sa agricultural at fishing community na ipinagmamalaki nito.
Fishery ay importante po sa bayan namin kasi po basically we are an agricultural municipality. More than 85% ng land area po namin ay devoted po sa agriculture. In fact po, yung rice area po namin ay 2,505 hectares. Yung coconut area po namin ay 1,970 hectares and we have more than 6,000 hectares as our marine waters. Dahil po sa we are rich in natural resources, like for example po, yung soil po namin dito is fertile pa po, at saka marami pa po yung mga fishery resources po namin. So yun po ang parang main source of income ng mga tao po dito sa amin.
Dahil nakasalalay sa natural resources ang livelihood ng munisipalidad, pinapahalagan dito ang wastong paggamit sa bawat hektarya ng kanilang kapaligiran.
The vision we had right at the very start was how Tanawan, clarifying the role of Tanawan in the development plan of Leyte. So in the context of the Leyte development plan. So we know that the main commercial and trading hub is Tacloban, and Palo, the next town, is fast becoming a commercial hub. So we were asking ourselves, what is the role of Tanawan? So it was becoming clearer that Tanawan should complement with Tacloban and Palo if we were to develop Tanawan. So the vision we were painting for Tanawan was to make Tanawan as a premier residential hub, complementing Palo and complementing Tacloban, which are the commercial areas.
Ang ganitong progresibong diwa ng pamamahala ang rason kung bakit multi-awarded ang munisipyo ng Tanawan. Nariyan ang Seal of Good Housekeeping mula sa DILG noong 2011. Ang Gawad Pamana ng Lahi 2011. At pati na rin ang award for most business-friendly municipality in the country noong 2006 at 2008.
Sa pagbabalik ng ating programa, kilalanin natin ang malalim at makulay na kasaysayan at kultura ng Tanawan. Dito lang sa Kahangahangang Pilipinas.
Kahangahangang Pilipinas. Kahangahangang Pilipinas.
Malalim at mapusok ang relasyon ng Tanawan sa karagatan. Mula pa noong unang panahon hanggang ngayon, sa baybaying dagat nang gagaling ang kabuhayan at sustento ng mga mamamayan dito. Ngunit sa ilang pagkakataon, ang dagat din ang nagdadala ng kapahamakan at pagsubok.
Noong unang panahon, ang pandarambong na mga morong pirata ang siyang nangingibabaw na peligro sa mapayapang coastal community na ito. Para makapagbigay babala agad kapag may paparating na mga pirata mula sa dagat, nagtayo sila ng isang lookout tower mula sa tuktok ng isang higanteng puno ng mulabi. Ang pagtanaw o ang pagbantay nila mula dito sa mataas na tanawan o lookout tower ay siyang pinanggalingan ng pangalang Tanawan. Sa paglipas ng panahon, natigil din ang pamimirata sa lugar na ito. Namulaklak ang komunidad ng Tanawan na siyang itinalaga bilang isang bayan noong 1710. Samot-saring kulay ang ipinamalas ng kultura ng Tanawan. Minsay binansagan ito bilang the cradle of intellectuals noong panahon ng Kastila. At kamakailan lang, meron ding usap-usapan na ang Tanawan raw ay ang tunay na pinagmulan ng ating pambansang sayaw na tinikling. Sa kabila ng pag-usbong ng kulturang Tanwanon, naririyan pa rin ang banta ng kapahamakan mula sa mapusok na karagatan. Noong 1897, dumating ang dilubyo sa Leyte. Isang malakas na bagyo ang bumayo sa buong lalawigan at kasama nito ang katakot-takot na storm surge. Halos hindi masukat ang pinsalang inabot ng buong lalawigan, lalo na sa mga coastal communities. Tibay, tapang at tatag ang nag-ahon sa bayan ng Tanawan mula sa trahedya ng 1897. Di na inaasahan pang babalik ang ganitong katinding pagsubok. Pero makalipas ang 100 taon, umulit ang kasaysayan sa pagdating ng Bagyong Yolanda. Tulad din ng dati, ang Tanawan ay muling bumabangon matapos ang unos. Sa pangalawang pagkakataon, napatunayan ang pagpupunyagi ng diwang Tanwanon.
The cradle of intellectuals, the skimboarding capital of the Philippines, posible pang the birthplace of tinikling. Ano mang titulo, hindi maikakaila ang bagong pagkakakilanlan ng bansa sa Tanawan. Isang nagniningning na ehemplo ng kagitingan sa pagbangon mula sa trahedya.
Kahangahangang Pilipinas. Kahangahangang Pilipinas.
Ang relasyon sa pagitan ng mga coastal communities tulad ng Tanawan, Leyte at ng Inang Kalikasan ay maselan. Minsan sagana, minsan mapanganib. For better or for worse, ang katubigan at kalupaan ang nagbibigay buhay sa mga komunidad na Pilipino. Kaya naman masugid rin dapat ang pangangalaga natin sa ating yamang kalikasan. Kaakibat ang German government at ng gobyerno ng Pilipinas, inulunsad ng grupong GIZ o German Development Cooperation sa Ingles, ang ENRD o ang Environment and Rural Development Program noong 2005. Layunin ng ENRD na iangat ang antas ng pamumuhay ng mga rural population sa pamamagitan ng wastong pangangasiwa ng land at water resources. Sa training at assistance ng ENRD, nakakapacitate o nabibigyang kapasidad o kakayahan ang iba't ibang LGU at ahensya upang maganap ng wasto ang kanilang tungkuling mga laga sa kani-kanilang natural resources. Komprehensibo ang pagtalakay ng ENRD sa mga isyu ng rural development at sustainable use of natural resources. Sa ganitong paraan, ang epekto ng ENRD ay maiparating sa lahat ng sulok ng mga LGUs mula barangay hanggang munisipyo, mula bundok hanggang dagat. Ika nga nila, from ridge to reef, mula taas hanggang baba.
Okay, when the ENRD program started 9 years ago, I think one of the main challenges was that planning process and the use of natural resources were planned often separate from each other. So there was no holistic integrated ecosystem management approach, really looking into entire watershed and seeing what are the natural borders of the system. So it was rather planning for the forest, planning for the coastal zones, and these were separate activities from each other and not looking into one approach, looking into one watershed, which can even go across borders of LGUs or provinces. So I think this was one of the major concerns and tasks the ENRD approached in promoting on the policy level, on the national level, but also on the regional and the LGU level to really look into advocate for an integrated ecosystem management, looking into watersheds and not plan different areas like forest, protected areas, water management, integrated coastal management, all be separate but in a holistic approach.
Our program, the Environment and Rural Development Program, has tried to address three major issues. One is the issue on land. We have tried to work with the policymakers, with the Senate, with Congress, but also with NGOs and the executive side on the National Land Use Act. It's a very important legislation that tries to address issues with regards to land use, sustainable land management, and the governance of land in general. Second, we have tried to address issues in relation to biodiversity. Thirdly, there are very, very important elements in terms of coastal management that are not yet functioning the way they could function, and there are policy issues in terms of how local governments manage their municipal borders, but also in terms of how the general government structure cooperates when it comes to delineating municipal borders, delineating water borders, but also then sustainably managing the coastline. We're talking here about, of course, livelihood and very important impacts for the life of people.
Isa sa pinakamahalagang component para sa Tanawan ay ang Natural Resources Governance component ng ENRD. Dito, na-train at nakapacitate ang kanilang LGU sa wastong land use at development planning.
One of the things that I've immediately done was to immediately review our comprehensive development plan in the town. That was a very important priority for me, to really revisit the direction, the roadmap we have for the town. And the vision we had right at the very start was how Tanawan, clarifying the role of Tanawan in the development plan of Leyte. So in the context of the Leyte development plan. The vision we were painting for Tanawan was to make Tanawan as a premier residential hub. Complementing Palo and complementing Tacloban, which are the commercial areas. My analogy is like this. Probably Tacloban will be more like Manila, old Manila or Manila. Then probably the new city will become Palo, more like Makati. And Tanawan will complement Palo, like we are like Alabang or probably Cavite, complementing the commercial areas of Palo and Tacloban. Okay, we have a very nice, well-situated, well-located areas in Tanawan that is prime for beautiful sites for housing development. Many of them will be country or a mountain type kind of development that overlooks the Pacific. Sunrise view, nice view, which will be a great site for mid to high-end type of housing. Okay, so we see future housing development being located in Tanawan.
Sa di inaasahang pagkakataon, naipamalas ng DORAS ang kahalagahan ng partnership ng Tanawan at ng GIZ sa pagsapit ng Bagyong Yolanda.
GIZ has been a key partner for our planning office. Okay, so our planning office is the backbone of all this work, and GIZ has been a great partner there. And how we bring that downstream up to the barangay level. Okay, so development of our barangay plans, barangay development plans. Okay, so overall they were involved in the planning process as we were pulling together the plans, the rehabilitation plan. Okay, the GIZ team was very helpful in helping my planning team. Okay, also fine-tune many of the plans that we put. I still remember we had series of workshops in Baybay City, okay, together with GIZ, on how we can really fine-tune the plans that we had. And these are the plans that we submitted to Secretary Lacson.
For our general work here in Leyte, we focus mostly on land use planning, forestry, coastal management, and we have always worked through our partners, either province or municipality, in advising them and going down to the communities. It's very important for a lot of activities that the community is on your side. If you want to install a marine protected area, you need to have the community that's supporting it, otherwise it will never work, because fishermen will just, continue to fish. There will be other harmful activities in the area, so you need to work with them. Same with land use planning. Land use planning is largely mapping and negotiation. You have to put things in certain areas, and the community has to decide whether they want to put a certain structure here or whether they want to have a certain land use there. It's always a negotiation, and then you have to put it into maps and agree to it. So there's always a political process involved in working with the community, whether you do it directly, us as an international organization, or through the partner LGUs, municipalities, provinces, etc. It's the same. Important is that you involve people in a very participatory way. That guarantees you that the results of your advice is actually being used later on and put into practice.
Sa kasalukuyan, ang Tanawan ang isa sa mga pinakamabilis bumangon mula sa pinsala. Ito'y dahil sa mga nasimulang mabuting gawain ng local government at ng GIZ. Patunay na lang ito na kung may tatag, tibay at tiyaga, at kapag may tulong mula sa mga kaibigan, malalampasan ang anumang trahedya. At sa inyo pong katatagan, pananalig at walang tigil na pagsasabuhay sa kadakilaan ng pusong Pilipino. Saludo po ang kahangahangang Pilipinas sa inyo, Tanawan.
Kayamanan ng bayan at kababayan, karunungan, karangalan, hindi mo matatawaran. Likas ang kayamanan ng bayan at kababayan, karunungan, karangalan, hindi mo matatawaran. Likas ang kayamanan ng bayan at kababayan, karunungan, karangalan, hindi mo matatawaran. Likas ang kayamanan ng bayan at kababayan, karunungan, karangalan, hindi mo matatawaran. Pinagpala ka, o Pilipinas, kamangha-mangha at kagila-gilalas, walang kasing ganda, walang kasing saya. Ito lahat